crash last month. This time it happened in Springfield, Ohio, between Columbus and Dayton, and no toxic chemicals were involved. Here's ABC's Liz Nagy.
This marks Norfolk Southern's fourth train derailment in Ohio in the past 5 months, including the derailment in East Palestine, where a toxic waste cleanup is still underway. Since the February 3rd derailment, residents there have suffered from a range of symptoms, including headaches, anxiety, coughing, fatigue, and skin irritation. The Environmental Protection Agency has now ordered Norfolk Southern to test the area for dioxins, which can cause cancer.
Norfolk Southern announcing this morning it is making plans to immediately enhance the safety of its operations as the company CEO prepares to answer questions on Capitol Hill later this week. The 2024 presidential race continues taking shape. ABC's Lindsay Watts.
I am your retribution.
Former President Donald Trump speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference, telling reporters he's in even if he's indicted. This as he faces state and federal investigations over his finances, classified documents, and the January 6th Capitol attack. One of his biggest challenges expected to come from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
DeSantis on a book tour telling a California crowd last night schools shouldn't be able to tell children they can choose their gender.
Parents in the state of Florida should be able to send their kids to elementary school without having an agenda jammed down their throat.
President Biden in Selma, Alabama over the weekend pushing voting rights as he marked the anniversary of the violence that took place as civil rights marchers tried to cross the Edmund Pettus Bridge. More snow expected in the mountains east of Los Angeles, up to 5 more feet possible in the Sierra Nevada mountains, adding to the 46 feet of snow that they've already gotten. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
A deadly home invasion in Bolingbrook, Illinois, southwest of Chicago last night. 3 people were killed, including a minor.
My son was playing the game, and then he ran in the room and was like, "Mom, I think something happened to his friend." I said, why would you say that? He said he heard gunshots. They was playing a game, and then he heard gunshots go off, and then he didn't hear his friend anymore.
Now, that woman lives nearby the shooting. Police say there is a suspect in custody. A warning today about an ATM scam. Here's ABC's Chuck Severson.
Several Chase Bank California customers claim hundreds were drained from their accounts. A San Francisco customer, Pamela Bongiorno.
They put glue in the card reader of the ATM machines, so you can't use your cards.
Rob Bell believes he talked with the thief at an ATM.
That person said, "Oh, there's a problem with the slot function. You have to use the tap function."
Then the crooks withdraw more from your account when you walk away, not manually ending the session. So log out of your account after grabbing your cash. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
A South Carolina driver says police probably saved her life when pulling her over. The 2 officers stopping Tamara Palmer in December because her car was swerving. They suspected that she was drunk, but quickly determined it was a medical episode and called an ambulance. Turned out it was a brain tumor. She's recently reaching out to tell the officer she has surgery and she's doing well. This is ABC News.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Does that old tractor or lawnmower have more electrical tape or duct tape holding it together than you want to admit? Well, maybe it's time to see Phil Sheehan and his staff at NC Tractor for a new Massey Ferguson tractor or mower. Massey Ferguson is a company that's been around for over 175 years. That says a lot about a company. And paired with Phil Sheehan, who's been in business for over 25 years, that says a lot about Phil and his staff. Knowledgeable about their product, and they stand behind every sale. Massey Ferguson is the last tractor you'll ever need. NC Tractor, a dependable and reliable company that'll be there after the sale. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Mostly sunny and beautiful for us today with high temperatures in the low to mid 70s. If you can make plans to go for a walk or just head outside, it is going to be a good day to do so. Tonight we'll fall into the very comfortable mid to upper 50s by Tuesday morning with mostly clear skies. Sunshine for Tuesday, but it will be breezy as a cold front comes through the area. Otherwise, though, temperatures still warm on Tuesday afternoon in the upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Our thermometer's reading 38 degrees right now. It's going to be another beautiful day here in our neighborhood. It looks like it's going to be climbing up to maybe near 70 today with some wind. Wind is moderate, but gusts as high as 18 miles per hour today. Then tonight dropping back to 51 for the overnight low, with wind gusts as high as 16 miles per hour. We'll have sunny skies all the way through until looks like about Wednesday night, and then we'll get some partly cloudy skies with some showers, with temperatures dropping continually throughout the week. 42 on Wednesday night, and then 45 on Thursday night. And looks like by Friday we'll have mostly cloudy skies with some scattered showers and lows around 44 during that time period. Again, right now it is 38 degrees here, according to Peter, the meter reader. We'll have our death announcements this morning following Bill O'Reilly morning update. There's quite a few of those. We'll try to get all those in this morning. And the complete obituary program rolls about 11:30 this morning, when the entire information that we get is rendered to you, and then again at 5:10. Well, right now, let me remind you a couple of things happening in downtown Rutherfordton. According to the Daily Courier, the town of Rutherfordton could have a new social district in its downtown by this summer if plans at the town council meeting on Wednesday come to fruition. In September 2021, the state of North Carolina passed legislation signed by the governor that allows the creation of social districts in the state. A social district is a defined area where people can walk around with open containers of beer, wine, and other alcoholic beverages which were legally sold by the ABC permitter. Local leaders say that having a social district will boost economic activity in downtown Rutherfordton, especially among the restaurants and bars. It will also draw more people into the retail establishments, and some say help solidify downtown Rutherfordton as a desirable place to visit. Some would argue that point, but that's what their point is in Rutherfordton. The North Carolina Retail Merchants Association was the major interest group pushing for the passage of this state legislation to drive more foot traffic to downtown businesses. The state legislature allows cities and towns to create their own social districts. Rutherfordton Community Development Director Magnolia Long made the presentation to the town council, and she explained the idea is supported by Rutherford Town Revitalization, which is the nonprofit working to boost downtown. Supporters of the idea have already produced a name and logo for the district, which would be known as the Mint District, in homage to the town's historic roots. They'll be discussing that further, I feel sure. Mayor Jimmy Dancy said, I think this idea deserves our consideration. Stan Clemens thinks it's a good idea. Councilwoman Doris Crute agrees with that. That is a great idea to have people walking during this district with open containers. Councilman Henry Giles did not endorse the idea, nor did he reject it. Councilman Doug Sheets said we need to move forward. In the end, Sheets made a motion to hold a public hearing on the proposed social district at next month's council meeting. The motion passed unanimously. Probably a good idea. Let the citizens of the town vote on whether or not they think it's appropriate for folks to walk around downtown with open containers. We'll see what happens on that. All right, the Tar Heels had a bad day Saturday against Duke. Duke beat them 62-57 in that game. So that's not a good thing for the Carolina fans, but it's a good thing for the Duke fans. So there are a bunch of those out there as well. Stand by now for the Bill O'Reilly morning update. We'll have that and get into the death announcements and then to the Chronicles of the Old West and then the call around, all straight ahead.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, if you are a timeshare owner, you're probably upset that your yearly dues continue to increase. Lone Star Transfer guarantees the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and done in a specific time frame. They're the only company you can trust, having helped more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out. So please call Lone Star Transfer 855-551-7066 or visit LoneStarTransfer.com. On this Monday, the pathetic showings by Attorney General Merrick Garland and FBI Chief Christopher Wray last week pretty much prove that the U.S. Department of Justice is corrupt. During an interview with Fox News, Wray was asked why the Hunter Biden investigation has dragged on for 3 years. Simple question. Wray blamed the U.S. Attorney in Delaware and then said he could not comment on the investigation itself. Of course, that's not true. The director of the FBI has the authority to answer general questions about ongoing investigations. You will remember former FBI Chief James Comey publicly updating the status of the Hillary Clinton document probe twice. As for Attorney General Garland, he was asked in a Senate hearing why protesters in front of Supreme Court justices' homes were not prosecuted. Garland had absolutely no credible answer. A federal statute passed in 1950, Title 18, Section 1507, makes it illegal for persons to attempt to intimidate federal officials at their homes, something the protesters in front of the court justices were absolutely doing. But Garland declined to pursue the case because the Biden administration did not want him to. By the way, Garland has prosecuted dozens of pro-life demonstrators. So you see, there is massive corruption in the Justice Department. Back after this. No question, there is a concerted effort to intimidate and silence conservative thinkers and replace our God-given individual liberty with big government controls. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in America. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits and all kinds of great content. Please stand with AMAC at amac.us. That's amac.us. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
We are remembering the classic oldies right here on WCAB Rutherfordton. The best of both worlds now. AM 590 and 100.9 FM.
Now I have these death announcements. Karen Holland Bostic, age 58, of Gaffney, died Friday at Mission Hospital in Asheville. The family will receive friends from 12 until 2 o'clock Tuesday, March 7th at Mike Mahan's funeral home. The funeral service will be at Mike Mahan's Chapel at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, March 7th. The family will be at the home of Daniel and Brittany Hoyle. Mike Mahan's funeral home and cremation service is in charge of the arrangements for Karen Holland Bostic. Kay Keeter Collins, age 77, died Saturday, March 4th at Oak Grove Healthcare, where she was a resident. At her request, all formal services will be held. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Kay Keeter Collins. William Bill Sabo, 94, of Rutherfordton, died Friday, March 3rd. A visitation and graveside services are being planned at this time, and we'll have that announcement as soon as it is complete and will be presented to you. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services in charge of those arrangements for William Bill Sabo of Rutherfordton. Barbara Reagan, 81, of Bostic, died Saturday, March 4th. A memorial service will be conducted at 5:30 Wednesday, March the 8th at Mount Lebanon Baptist Church. The visitation will be from 4:15 until 5:15 Wednesday at the church prior to the service. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Barbara Reagan. James Jed Doggett passed away March 1st at age 59. Those arrangements are incomplete, and Mike Mahan's funeral home will be in charge of those arrangements and will announce those in time for James Jed Doggett. Paul Kelly, 58, passed away Monday, February 27th. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Crow's Funeral Home for Paul Kelly. Thelma Lynn Morgan Powell passed away March 2nd at age 62. The obituary is not available at this time and will be announced later by Robert Morgan Funeral Home for Thelma Lynn Morgan Powell. Tina Mae Whiston passed away March 2nd, age 61. Those death announcements not available at this time, and Robert Morgan Funeral Home will announce those in time for Tina Mae Whiston. Donna Lynn Cooper, 58, of Spindale, passed away Monday, February 27th at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. At Donna's request, no services will be held, and Crow's Mortuary is serving the family of Donna Lynn Cooper. Edna Mintz Allison, age 93, of Gaffney, passed away Friday, March 3rd at the home of her niece. A graveside service will be held at 1 o'clock today at Camps Creek Baptist Church Cemetery. A celebration of life service will follow at 1:30 in the sanctuary of the church. Memorial donations are suggested to Alzheimer's Association. Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside is serving the family of Edna Mintz Allison. Karen Holland Bostic, age 58, of Gaffney, died Friday at Mission Hospital in Asheville. The family will receive friends from 12 until 2 Tuesday at McMahon's Funeral Home. The funeral service will be at McMahon's Chapel at 2 o'clock March 7th. Burial will be at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. McMahon's Funeral Home serving the family of Karen Holland Bostic. Troy E. Gordon, age 80, of Caroline, died Friday, March the 3rd at Accordius Health in Rutherfordton. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Wednesday, March the 8th at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow with firefighters' honors at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The family will receive friends from 6 until 8 on Tuesday at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral Home is serving the family of Troy E. Gordon. Thomas Joseph Tom Burke, age 74, of Hickory, died Tuesday, February 28th at his home. A celebration of life will be held at 11 o'clock Friday, March 10th at Burke Memorial Park in Morganton. There will also be a funeral mass held at 11 o'clock Tuesday, March 7th at Immaculate Conception Roman Catholic Church in Forest City. The pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Thomas Joseph Tom Burke. Joan Moore Clark, age 76, of Ellenboro, died Saturday, March 4th. The family will receive friends Thursday, March 9th from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock at Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside. The memorial service will follow at 5 o'clock in the A.C. McKinney Memorial Chapel at Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside. Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside is serving the family of Joan Moore Clark. Herbert Herb John Ackroyd, age 72, of Rutherford, passed away Tuesday, February the 21st at Mission Hospital in Nashville. A celebration of life will be held Sunday, March 19th at McMahon's Funeral Home. The family will greet friends after the burial. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Herbert Herb John Ackroyd. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, tune in this morning at 11:30, and then again at 5 o'clock as part of the afternoon call-around report for complete information on these and others. It's now 19 minutes past 7.
For Hubert Howell Bancroft, it was never a doubt that he was gifted. At the age of 3, he was reading the Bible. When he was 20, he headed out to San Francisco, California. There he opened a bookstore, and he eventually started publishing books. But Bancroft knew he was destined to do something on a grander scale. And what could be grander than publishing the complete history of North America from Panama to Alaska? So, for 10 years, he searched the United States, Europe, and Mexico for source documents. He eventually accumulated 40,000 books. Realizing it would take about 400 years to read all of these books, Bancroft hired about 600 people to pull the information together. He developed a system of paper bags hanging on clotheslines to organize the material. And like a conductor, he orchestrated the whole operation. Bancroft published the first 5 books called The Native Races of the Pacific States of North America. These were followed by books on Mexico, California, and British Columbia. Finally, at the age of 58, Bancroft finished the 39th volume, an autobiography of himself. During the 30 years, Bancroft had spent $500,000. But don't feel sorry for him. He sold 6,000 sets of the book that netted him a profit of $500,000. Although Bancroft couldn't have done it by himself, were it not for his drive, nothing would have been accomplished. Incidentally, by the time Hubert Bancroft died on March 2, 1918, his 40,000 books had grown to 60,000, more books than many a library. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Every morning I open the door. Hello, stock. Hello, store. Building my business, building my dream. I'm glad to have radio on my team. It reaches my customers and new ones too, and tells them about what we offer and do. I'm watching my budget. I have to spend smart. For me, radio is a good place to start. Radio works harder. Put it to work for you at radioheardhere.com.
Brought to you by this radio station to remind you that radio is heard here. Radio is heard everywhere.
Let the WCAB marketing team go to work for your business. It works. Call Tracy or Jim at 287-3356.
And it's time now to get started with our Call Around the County newscast to find out what's been going on over the weekend. And the one to tell us all about it is Lieutenant Lowry with the Sheriff's Department. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, sir. How are you?
Doing great. What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, the Communications Center has received 330 calls. The jail processed 11 arrests, and they currently have 175 in the jail. For incident reports, we have Ellenborough Quick Mart reported an incident of felony larceny. Caroline Morrow of Rutherford reported an incident of felony larceny. And for arrest, we have Martin Scott Martin Jr. of Ballstick, charged with violation of release order and second-degree trespass. Cora Hudson of Ballstick, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Mariah McDowell of Forest City, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. And Rebecca Green of Forest City, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. And that's it.
Lieutenant Lowry, thank you very much for that report, and you be safe out there today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye. And we'll check with 911 Communications Center next.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Here's Marie now with the report from the Communications Center. Marie, what's on the report today?
In the past 48 hours, the Rutherford County 911 Communications Centers processed 593 911 and administrative calls, which consisted of 64 for EMS. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Department had 330. Forest City had 90. Lake Lure had 21. Rutherford had 27. Spindle had 51. For fire calls, Bills Creek responded to a structure fire assisted by Fairfield, Lake Lure, and Green Hill. Cliffside responded to a structure fire assisted by SCO, Sandy Mush, and Ellenborough. And Cliffside also had a motor vehicle accident. Forest City had a motor vehicle accident, and that's all I have for the morning.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Ruby Taylor is up next from Danieltown, SDO District. Ruby, what's up?
They assisted Cliffside on a structure fire. And I have one anniversary, and that's Mr. and Ms. Bruce Henson's having anniversary day, and hope they have a nice day. Signs are in the bowels today and tomorrow. Jim, that's all I've got.
Thanks, Ruby. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
It's the store folks in Western North Carolina depend on. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. It's like a superstore. Deer corn, $11.05 for 50 pounds. Cob corn, $10. They have plenty of deer plant supplies. Check on the lower prices on propane, $12.99 for a 20-pound tank. Mulch, gravel, rocks, and supplies for beautiful landscaping. That's available at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply at lower prices. Open Monday through Saturday. If you want a feed and seed store that carries so much more, including new and used farm equipment, then come on over to Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I hope you will go out and enjoy and visit some of our local merchants this day. 26 minutes after 7 o'clock right here is Chris Meldon. Chris, welcome back.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Doing great. Hope you're doing well.
Doing much better.
Good. Hope you got plenty of rest.
I sure did. Had a good time as well.
Good.
It's nice to get away.
What's going on over there?
Well, just catching back up on everything. I know between Chimney Rock, Lakewood, and Bills Creek Fire Departments, they ran many fire alarms and medical calls. Bills Creek had a structure fire where Lakewood and Fairfield and Shingle Hollow responded with them last week. And just a good reminder to pull your grill away from your house and not cook up against it and all that. So, but other than that, that's about it on the call report that I know of, and I don't know of any events going on just yet, but hopefully by tomorrow I will.
Okay. Well, we certainly had good weather here the past couple of days, haven't we?
Yeah, I sure have.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, hope so. Welcome. Glad to have you back, and glad you got some rest, and be safe out there today.
Thank you. Y'all too.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
It's Chris Meldon. He's the chief up at Chimney Rock Fire Department, and volunteers with Lake Lord, and also looking after for us things at Bills Creek community. 27 now past 7. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Let's see what DeVern Upton's up to over in Bostic this morning on this beautiful Monday morning. How you doing, DeVern?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing great. Loving this weather. How about you?
I love it. Our temperature over here is 39 degrees this morning. Fire department had 2 medical calls. Don't forget to go by Washburn store here on Boston Sunshine Highway and check their items out. They got just about anything you need there at Washburn's. And our Friday night fires at Faith Baptist Church in Forest City will be again at 6:30 this Friday night. Had a wonderful time this past Friday night. And then we have the benefit coming up this Friday night, benefit hot dog supper and singing for Tyler Pendleton. He's the son of Melissa Carroll and Randy Pendleton, and Melissa sings with Eubank to help with the medical expenses. That'll be Friday, March the 10th, 5 to 6:30, the supper, 7 singing. Pleasant View Community Church are on Michael Drive in Forest City, and donations accepted and appreciated. Hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thanks, DeVern. You have a wonderful day as well. Be careful over there, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Bye. Let me brag on Hutchins Pest Control a minute. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service may be the reason they keep getting voted best pest control. If you have a pest problem, call this family-run business at 287-5171. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control and be sure the job is done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171 and they'll be right there. And here's Robbie Samuel now. He's over at Rutherfordton at the fire department and also looking after things for us at Hudlow. Robbie, how you doing?
I'm doing good this morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did you enjoy that beautiful weekend or not?
I did. I enjoyed it. It's been beautiful, that's for sure. It looks like we're going to be able to do it again today.
I believe so, yeah.
I know Brenda Kelly's probably a little disappointed her Tar Heels didn't make it Saturday night, but it was a pretty good victory for me.
I bet it was. Yeah, that was a disappointing for the Carolina fans, but a happy cheering for the Duke fans.
That's exactly right. But that's all right, though. Carolina will probably pull it out the next time.
62-57, Duke over Tar Heels.
Yeah.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
That's exactly right. You can't win them all, can we?
That's exactly right. Although Brenda would like for the Tar Heels to win them all, but
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But well, Jim, with the fire department, they fairly steady through the weekend. Nothing major, just a few medical calls. And want to say happy birthday to Randy McMillan. I hope he has a great day today. And ham and chicken pie supper reminders this Saturday, March the 11th. Starting at 4:30, and it will be a drive-through only again. Start at the Mount Vernon Baptist Church and work your way through and come out and support the community. And Rutherford Fire Department also will be hosting a blood drive this Wednesday, March 8th, starting at 10 o'clock. It'll be 10 to 3 at the fire station. So try to come out and donate some blood if you can. And other than that, Jim, we're going to try to enjoy today's weather and hopefully everybody has a good day, good Monday.
I hope you can, and hope it's quiet, no fatalities or any fires or anything you have to go to, so we enjoy the beauty of it.
That's exactly right. Hopefully it'll be that way all week.
I hope so. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
All right, Sue Price, what's going on?
Good morning, Jim.
How are you?
Enjoying a pretty morning again.
Oh, yeah. I love to be sitting out on my back porch this morning watching the birds, drinking coffee.
Well, I've enjoyed these pretty days, but we may still have some winter yet. We never know.
Yep, never know. Easter hasn't got here yet.
But anyway, we take whatever comes. Well, let's see. I don't have any. Well, I have one anniversary on my church calendar for Rodney and Yvonne Leitner, so I hope they have a good day. Nothing on my personal calendar today, and nothing on Fairview's new birthdays or anniversaries, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements, the Fairview Baptist Church will be having a spring revival. It starts on the 19th and goes through the 22nd. The Sunday night service will start at 6:30, and Monday through Wednesday it begins at 7 p.m. And everyone's invited. They'll be having a different speaker each night. And so far, that's the only announcement I've had come in. It's just quiet and calm, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. You too, and I will check on you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, I know this beautiful weather has, for many of you, thought about getting your garden ready. I know you're getting a fever. Well, you need to go by Washburn General Store. They got all their seeds in now, so you can choose and pick all you want to set out. They've got plenty of them. Got a load in the other day. So why don't you shop local and shop Washburn General Store and get those seeds from them Get yourself a pair of work gloves from them. Maybe a few digger tools that you can dig in the yard with. They got a lot of that stuff. If you wear overalls, they got the best overalls around here, and they all American made. Go by Washburn Store today. Get ready for spring and summer. It's coming. Washburn Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. And here's Tina now reporting to us from Shingle Hollow. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning and hello from Shingle Hollow. It is so pretty up here. It's been a beautiful weekend, too.
It sure has. I couldn't believe it, how nice the weekend was.
I know. It's just wonderful. It's 40 degrees up here this morning, and the sunrise, it was pretty, too. So we're going to have a great day in Shingle Hollow. For birthdays today, we have Miss Wanda Mills and Jesse Birch. And I hope they both have a wonderful birthday. It's a good day to celebrate. The fire department was all quiet over the weekend. And we have on our, I'm losing my place on my notes. So Pilgrim Way Baptist Church having their spring revival. It starts this evening at 7 p.m. It runs through Friday. Each night there's going to be a different speaker, different preacher, and special singing. So plan on going out and just praising the Lord this week. Have some revival here in Shingle Hollow. And as far as I know, that's all I have. We are just going to have a good day. I'm getting a little nervous.
About what?
Well, my son is getting married April 1st.
Oh, no.
He is marrying the most wonderful lady. I'm blessed. I'm not worried about them. I'm a little concerned about me and my husband and Nevaeh. We're trying to get used to the idea of him not being here every day.
It is a major milestone. It really is.
Oh, but planning.
And they're sure they want to get married on April 1st.
They are, and it just suits them, Jim. If you knew Jeremiah Earls, you would understand completely, and anybody that does probably understands. I've spoiled him rotten throughout the years. I was glad to share this morning since I started, but when he was 5 days old, he had his first surgery, and the doctors down in Charlotte said that he may not make it. And he's had 14 surgeries related to his kidneys and bladder and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And at 7, they told me that he probably wouldn't live past 15 years old without a kidney transplant. So I have loved him, which I love. I'm a try to be a loving person anyway, but I have just, every day was just thank you, God. And I still thank God today because he's 23. He'll be 24 this year. He is here, and he is fine, and he's a productive member of society, and he loves Jesus. So, I mean,
amazing story.
I'm blessed.
Yeah, amazing story.
So when you hear me say I'm blessed and highly favored,
yes,
I really feel that I am. Okay, so I've said a lot about all that, but y'all bear with me this month because I may be a little scatterbrained because I'm thinking showers, wedding.
You will come. Yeah. You'll overcome it. I just can envision them now walking down the aisle together on April 1st and turn around to the altar and say, "April Fool, we're not doing it."
Well, he has assured me that he's not going to do that. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for listening to my chatter. We're planning on having a wonderful day up here in Shingle Hollow, and just be safe out there.
Thanks, Tina. You have a good one.
Thank you, Jim. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Tina Watt reporting from Shingle Hollow this morning. It's 7:38. We'll get over to Union Mills in just a moment.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right for you.
Thank you, Andrew. It's 7:40 right now. This magnificent Monday morning. Let's head up to Union Mills and talk with the crying Brenda Kelly. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you on this marvelous sunny Monday morning?
It is a beautiful day, isn't it?
It's a beautiful day. That's right. I told Tracy, I said, yeah, the sun shines beautiful. She said, yeah, it puts a smile on your face. I said, yeah, and a song in your heart.
That's right.
She said, now I want to hear you sing. I said, no.
You can do it. I've heard you.
No, I try, but I don't do that good. And Robbie Samuels, I'm proud for you that your team won. That's all right. I'll still root for Carolina, and there's always the next time.
That's a good way to look for it.
Always the next time. Look, if I'm living, as old as I am, I may not be living next year for March Madness.
Well,
I hope so.
I hope you are. Yeah, I hope you're living next time.
Yeah. But we hope everybody's having a good time. Let's see, I've got 34 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays, any anniversaries. I don't know of any announcements going on. But I have to say my hat's off to Tina White. She's been through a lot in her lifetime, and God has been good to her. And I felt like we ought to be saying amen and let you sing a song and everything, and we'd just have revival this morning.
Well, I'll tell you, we get a lot more blessings than we ever recognize, don't we?
That's exactly right. That's right. I know when my baby sister was born, the doctors told Mama she wouldn't live to be 3 years old, and she lived to be, I forget if it was 63 or 64. Wow. So see, the doctors don't always know because God's in control.
That's exactly right. They don't always know when they see the fetus in it. They say, well, it looks like your baby's going to be deformed. You may want to abort the baby.
Yeah.
And the mother said, no, I'm not going to do that. And the baby comes out and everything's fine.
That's right. That's exactly right. You know, the doctors don't always know. So.
Yeah. All right, Brenda.
I guess you better go down to Ellenburg and see if Luke the Sweet thing's up in Keegan.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Bishop. How are you?
I am happy as a lark.
Good. How happy is a lark?
Happy, a lark is happy enough to sit on a tree limb and sing.
Sings all day.
Yeah, and eat bird seed, dig worms out of the ground, stuff like that.
Oh, well, good thing. Gets rid of the worms. Saves a few from me. But it's a quiet morning here this morning. We've had a fairly quiet weekend for the most part. The fire department went down to Sis Cliff church far there, but got canceled before they got there. And then they had 2 medical calls, set up one landing zone, and had one public assist. Other than that, they're quiet this morning, just sitting back enjoying a cup of coffee. So, you have a great day, Bear. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Luther, have a good one now. Bye.
Take care now.
Time for birthdays and anniversaries for this 6th day of March, March 6th. If you are celebrating, call us at 287-3356. Let's wish you a happy birthday or anniversary. 287-3356, March 6th, birthdays and anniversaries. Or if you had one yesterday on the 5th, we'll celebrate with you again. Birthdays for the 5th and 6th right here on the Birthday Club. Coming up at 287-3356. Meanwhile, keep in mind that tomorrow morning you can start all over again the week with the good the good lunch at Granny B's. They have the good lunch. They got healthy too, by the way. Put a lot of healthy food on that sub, meat and the kind of thing you like, some turkey or some beef or some ham, or mix it together. Get one of those nice honey sweet bread rolls. It's just a great place to have a lunch and have a meal, and they'll fix you right up and talk with them about how to put some in a bag for you to take to the office with you. That'll make everybody happy, right? Granny B's, Main Street, Spindale, up the street a little ways from Yelton Milling Company or Lakeside Mills, and right beside Shake Shop.
Happy birthday.
I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Robin McNeely. He's 62 today from Sunshine. And Joe Williams, she's 61 from Alexander area. So happy birthday to Robin and happy birthday to Joe. Thank you for sharing your birthday with us here at WCAB. Now stand by. We have Keys to Confident Living coming up in just a moment. And it will take you down memory lane with some classic oldies. And we'll get ready for the third hour of the morning wake-up call on WCAB.
Harold Spurlick was product engineer at Ford Motor Company. The minivan would be
WCAB.
Stranded after last week's 4 feet of snow, ABC's Matt Gutman is in Crestline, California, just north of San Bernardino.
The West pummeled with new rounds of snow and severe weather as officials in California warn it could take days longer to rescue everyone imprisoned in the snow, piling up to rooftops and swallowing homes. Officials say crews have removed more than 2,000 Olympic swimming pools worth of snow from San Bernardino County alone.
Railroad company Norfolk Southern is making plans to immediately enhance the safety of its operations in direct response to the preliminary findings from the NTSB in the catastrophic East Palestine derailment. Meantime, another train derailment in Ohio over the weekend, this one in Springfield between Dayton and Columbus. No toxic chemicals were released in that crash. Comedian Chris Rock speaking out about the punch at last year's Oscars.
Reaction is still coming in to Chris Rock's must-watch weekend show, breaking his silence nearly a year after Will Smith slapped him at the Oscars.
Oh, wow! Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in a movie. You think I auditioned for that part? He played Muhammad Ali. I played Pookie in New Jack City.
But the comedian declaring he is not a victim.
But I'm not a victim. I took that hit like Pacquiao.
And pulling no punches as he laid into Smith and the tabloid fodder surrounding the marriage of Will Smith and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith.
It's ABC's Lana Moise. Police in Georgia say they were attacked in a violent protest at the construction site of the new Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. It's the latest in a series of clashes with protesters who argue the new center will militarize police. You're listening to ABC News.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
On both sides of the Rio Grande, law enforcement officials have been looking for 4 U.S. citizens who've been kidnapped in Mexico. ABC's Jim Ryan has the details.
The FBI has not identified the 4 Americans, saying only that they were in a white minivan with North Carolina license plates. Not long after the van crossed the international bridge from Brownsville, Texas to Matamoros, Mexico, gunmen opened fire, forcing the occupants out and into another vehicle that then sped away. The FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for the safe return of the victims and the arrest of the kidnappers. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Tennis star Novak Djokovic, ranked number 1 in the world, will not be playing in the upcoming tournament in Indian Wells, California. Details from ABC's Mark Remillard.
International travelers are still required to be vaccinated against COVID, and Djokovic's withdrawal is an indication that his request for a waiver was unsuccessful, even as the U.S. gets set to lift that travel requirement in May. Florida Senators Rick Scott and Marco Rubio are asking the Biden administration to grant Djokovic a waiver ahead of the Miami Open later this month.
Another major fire in New York City blamed on a lithium-ion battery in an e-bike. Flames destroying a supermarket and a laundromat in the Bronx. 7 people injured. Already this year, lithium-ion batteries have caused more than 20 fires in New York. Officials say battling those blazes is especially hard. This is ABC News.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We've got another day of beautiful weather headed our way with temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 70s with mostly sunny skies. No complaints for us today, so if you can head outside, get some fresh air, it's going to be a good day to do so. Tonight, very comfortable still, mid to upper 50s by Tuesday morning. Tuesday during the day, we're going to have a cold front coming through. That could make it a little bit breezy, but temperatures still will be warm in the upper 70s. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
Well, it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're up to 42 degrees already. We started out at 39 this morning, up to 42, climbing all the way up to near 70 for a daytime high. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Kind of like the weekend. We had a beautiful Saturday and Sunday. Now we got a beautiful Monday, and it starts going downhill after this. By Wednesday night, we'll have some more rain in the forecast. Well, let's enjoy today. Right now, we have Anita on the phone to tell us where jobs are. We can go and make some little money. Anita, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Sure is pretty.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
Sure is. We have a sales and service associate in Tryon that requires a high school diploma and 1 year experience to pay as dependent experience. A pizza maker, I can't talk this morning, in Spindale, that's $11 an hour. An associate driver, that is in Far City, that's $13 an hour. A social worker 3 in Spindale, that is $47,200 a year. That is a bachelor's degree in 1 year experience. Industrial maintenance relay tech in Far City, that is $26 to $36 an hour. It requires an associate's degree and 4 years experience. We have another social worker 1 in Spindale, that is $49,300. That requires a bachelor's degree in 1 year experience. A technical design manager in Cliffside, that is $60,000 to $75,000. Has a high school diploma and 3 years experience. A janitor and cleaner in Far City, that is $12 to $13 an hour. That's a high school diploma in 6 months. We have farm workers from March to December up here in Rutherfordton, that is $14.91 an hour. We have a direct support professional in Far City, that is $17,000 to $29,000 a year. That is a high school diploma. A certified nursing assistant in Far City. They pay us depending on experience. We have a dump truck driver in Rutherfordton. That is $12 to $15 an hour. It's a high school diploma and 6 months experience. We have an injection mold process. That is a Far City. That's $25 an hour. High school diploma and 5 years experience. This Wednesday from 9 until 12, we will be at the at the Alliance Precision Plastics plant. They are doing a hiring event. Those jobs are, I don't even have the darn flyer in front of me. But anyway, those are lead jobs, 2 of them, machine. And then also we have a virtual workshop on March the 8th, which is this Wednesday. That is resume and job applications. Learn tips to create a resume and complete an application that will get you that interview. That is at 10 o'clock. We can send you that link. And for any of those jobs, for the virtual workshop, and for any more information about the job fair, just give us a call here at 828-286-3042, or just come by and see us, 223 on Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton.
All right, thank you very much for that report. It's always good and thorough, and I appreciate you being with us on Mondays.
Thank you, hon.
Have a good week.
You too.
Bye-bye. And we'll try to check in with Wayne Rollins here in just a few moments, see what's been happening with him over the weekend and what's coming up with the Good Food World with Wayne's Lunchbox. It's 9 minutes past 8.
This is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates, wanting to let you know that we have moved. Our new office is located at 245 East Main Street in Forest City. Come see us for auto, home, or your commercial insurance needs. Also come see me, Dwayne Hunt, for your Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, or prescription drug plans. See us at Insurance Service Associates, now located at 245 East Main Street in Forest City, or call 828-245-5301.
Oh, what a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and what a beautiful day to go to Wayne's Lunchbox and eat out under the shed there in the picnic baskets, picnic tables. Wayne Rollins, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. I'll tell you right now, I'm hearing a lot of good things about your catering. You've been staying busy with catering, haven't you?
Yeah, the catering part's been doing pretty good. We're fortunate to be able to have the ability to do that some on the weekends. Of course, with us just being open Monday through Thursday is sort of why I set that up. And Had a couple of caterings this weekend, got a couple of caterings this week that we'll be doing. And had one, the one we had Saturday was just, it wasn't nothing big. It was just a good size. I think we did, 60 to 70. And but they had a great menu. We come up with a menu for them. They did pot roast. We slow roasted some beef there and had some vegetables with it. The potatoes, carrots, and onions, of course, always goes with that good. Which, in my opinion, that's just as good as the roast. You take those carrots and stuff and cook them in that juice, and you just can't get much better than that. But they had our seasoned baked chicken filet, because you can always, you can get that with the bone or without the bone. A lot of people just go ahead and get the filet. Then some just good old green beans, macaroni and cheese, and rolls. So they had a good meal. Got a lot of good compliments about it afterwards. I had some people call me. So I'm wanting to know how I keep that the seasoned baked chicken. How do you keep it so moist, Wayne? How does it? A lot of times you'll get a breast and it'll be dry like that because it is a hard piece to keep that way. But just a little technique that we use, and we've always had good luck with it. And that's the seasoned baked chicken's always been one of our favorites back at the cafeteria and on our catering. So it's just a good piece of chicken for you to try out. So, again, anything that you got going on, birthday parties, if you're having a little luncheon at your, workplace, or your Sunday school's wanting to get together one weekend, got a big wedding, anything like that, you can give us a call. We got catering menus there at the restaurant that has probably about 85 to 90% of anything that we do. We broke it down for you that shows you some of the meats, some of the vegetables, different things that we do. However, if there's something that you want that's not on there, by all means ask me, because I can probably do it. So catering's been doing good, and we're just blessed and thankful that, again, that we have the ability to do that. And it's always good to do catering, because a lot of times you might have several people in there that's never had the opportunity to come by and eat, or they've heard about it, but just haven't had the time or the opportunity. So it gives them that opportunity, and it gives me the opportunity to showcase, what we can and can't do. So good things with catering. Love to do them.
What's on the menu for today?
Today for lunch, you're going to have that grilled chicken Philly. Again, I think it's one of the top 3 sandwiches that we do. We take our tenders that come in raw, put them on the grill them up, and then we add some onions and peppers and provolone cheese. Put that thing on the hoagie bun and toast that bun up good, and it's just a really good sandwich. If you want to change it up, by all means do. You can, change the cheese. You can add some mushrooms. You can add some jalapenos, bacon. We had a girl the other day get it with bacon and ranch. So that made a really good sandwich. Or you can put mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato on it, or you can just get it plain. Doesn't matter to me. I just like to create some sandwiches here and there. So if you want to put something on it different, we can fix it up however you like it. Of course, we got our salads. We've always got, fried liver mush. You can get a liver mush, egg, and cheese, or you can get a bologna, egg, and cheese. We had a guy the other day come in from Gaffney to come up to eat lunch with us, and he got a bologna burger. One of the first, I think, that I've ever had like that. He got a cheeseburger with, I think, mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato, but he wanted to add a piece of fried bologna to it.
Wow.
So Rick came in from Gaffney, and he's like, man, have you ever heard of a bologna burger? I said, I have, but I don't think we've ever made one. And he said, well, you're going to make one today. So we made him up one, and he sat down and ate that thing. He said, man, that thing sure was good. So if you want to throw a bologna on your cheeseburger, by all means do. We get in that bologna, and we cut it pretty thick, so it's not just a little flimsy piece of bologna. So we want you to be able to taste it instead of the bun. So
I just
always got that in there.
I just believe there's no stumping Wayne Rollins when it comes to organizing any kind of food.
Well, I just, again, our place is little, but we've got a wide variety of things, and I think that's, that helps us out for lunch and for dinner. Because if somebody wanted a little bit of breakfast, then we've got the liver mush or the bologna, and you can get a fried egg or anything like that on any day at lunch. If you want to add a fried egg to your cheeseburger, or you want a bologna egg and cheese or a bacon egg and cheese, we always have bacon on hand. So if you woke up late and didn't get breakfast, you want to swing by and get you a breakfast sandwich, you can definitely do that. And then, of course, tonight, we're not going to do the breakfast tonight. I wanted to let everybody be aware of that. We had a good outcome for it, but it's just not as much as the people that want meatloaf. And I'm sure Lou may be one of those people. They love the meatloaf on Monday, and it's always been one of our biggest sellers. So we're going to do the meatloaf tonight. We've already made up some broccoli casserole this morning. We hadn't had that in a few weeks, so we're going to run some broccoli casserole. And if you hadn't tried the macaroni salad, that's a good one. Made up some good macaroni salad that you can get as a cold salad today. Of course, we have all our other meats and vegetables tonight. Probably have some pintos and cabbage. You can just get you a vegetable plate. You know, you don't have to come and get a meat and 3 or a meat and 2. You can get 4 vegetables and a good old piece of cornbread. We're going to have some fat back on hand, too, and I'm sure we'll have some kind of cake or cobbler later on to go this evening, starting up at 3 o'clock as well. So,
all right. We can look forward to a good meal either way, to lunch or dinner tonight at Wayne's Lunchbox in Spindale. Wayne, thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Yes, sir, Jim. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a good week, and hope everybody has a good week, and we'll talk to you later on.
See you again real soon. Bye-bye.
All right, Jim. Have a good one.
Wayne Rollins reporting live there. Looks like he might have been in his automobile. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock, and we'll have that sheriff's report coming up again in just a few moments.
There are plenty of drugstores in Rutherford County, but not all of them offer the same personal customer service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team have trusted experience and professional service. You're not just a number to them, you're a friend. Make the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton your hometown drugstore at 200 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1. 287-7117.
Some news from here and there this morning. The Daily Courier is reporting that the Rutherfordton Town Council postponed any action regarding a small zoning change for at least another month. The town's planning board had recommended a change regarding a tattoo and body piercing studio, but Councilman Henry Giles said at Wednesday's council meeting that he was not comfortable voting on the matter following a public hearing on the matter. Town staff pointed out that this is the typical timeline for such actions. A hearing on the matter was held at Wednesday's meeting, but no one spoke during the hearing. The recommended change would allow tattoo and body piercing studios to operate in the C-74 commercial district, that's along Railroad Avenue, and remove it as an approved business from MU2 district, which that's along Charlotte Road. Town administration had received a specific request for the change to allow this use in C-74. The person making the request hopes to establish a business at that location. The planning board made its recommendation to remove tattoo and body piercing as an approved business from Charlotte Road because of the upcoming major changes scheduled for Charlotte Road in connection with the RAISE grant. The planning board unanimously decided on this recommendation at its February the 9th meeting. And other things they were talking about doing in Rutherfordton, Rutherfordton could have a social district in its downtown by this summer. If plans unveiled at the town council meeting on Wednesday comes to fruition. In September 2021, the state of North Carolina passed legislation signed by the governor that allows the creation of social districts in the state. A social district is a defined area where people can walk around with open containers of beer, wine, and other alcoholic beverages which were legally sold by the ABC permittee. Local leaders say that having a social district will boost economic activity in downtown Rutherfordton, especially among the restaurants and bars. It will also draw more people into the retail establishments, and some say help solidify downtown Rutherfordton as a desirable place to visit. The North Carolina Retail Merchants Association was the major interest group pushing for its passage of this state legislation to drive more foot traffic to downtown businesses. The state legislation allows cities and towns to create their own social districts. Rutherford Community Development Director Magnolia Long made the presentation to the town council. She explained that the idea is supported by Rutherford Town Revitalization, which is the nonprofit working to boost downtown. Supporters of the idea have already produced a name and logo for the district, which would be known as the Mint District, in homage to the town's historic roots. Having a social district in Rutherfordton is not an entirely new concept. The FAB, which is Food, Art, and Brew events, include a social district on Central Street, though it's limited to each event. Having a true social district would not be limited to a particular event. Town council would control the details regarding boundaries of the district and hours. According to the state regulations, alcoholic beverages must be in specific containers if the customer wants to carry the beverage outside of the establishment where it's purchased. These containers will clearly identify the establishment holding the ABC permit, cannot be made of glass, hold no more than 16 fluid ounces, and display the Mint District logo. Containers will also contain the statement, "Drink responsibly," B21. Alcoholic beverages inside the Mint District may only be consumed within the district and must be disposed of before exiting the district. Jim Masick, head of the RTR and co-owner of Carrier House's Bread and Breakfast, noted there will be a need for educating the public owners as well as the general public about what the social district means. Regarding potential for alcohol-related crime, Masick said, we have set an example of how to drink in public with FAB. Mayor Jimmy Dancy said, I think this idea deserves our consideration. It's worth further discussion. Stan Clements, council member, said, I think the idea is a good one. Councilwoman Doris Kreutz agreed. She said, if this can mean more growth and opportunity, then I agree. Let's move forward. Councilman Henry Giles did not endorse the idea, nor did he reject it. Councilmember Dr. Doug Sheets said we need to move forward. In the end, Sheets made a motion to hold a public hearing on the proposed district, social district, and next month's council meeting. The motion was passed unanimously. 22 minutes past 8 o'clock, the Sheriff's Report with Lieutenant Lowry coming up here in just a moment.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
On Thursday, March the 2nd, 2 Polk County men were sentenced for engaging in dogfighting and related criminal conduct. The 2 men were indicted in June of last year. Laddie Dwayne McMillan, 47 of Tryon, will serve 16 months in federal prison, and Derek Twitty, 48 of Columbus, will serve 6. Both defendants will serve 2 years of supervised release following their release and are prohibited from owning any dogs during the term of their supervision. McMillan conspired to breed, train, and fight dogs for nearly 15 years, according to the court documents. He openly boasted of owning and operating a fighting dog breeding operation, sharing a video of his yard with 13 dogs in 2020. He also shared videos of his dogs engaged in fights. In early 2020, Twitty joined the fighting and breeding operations, and together the 2 trained and bred dogs for dog fights. The case was investigated by Polk County Sheriff's Office and the USDA Office of Inspector General. There you got him. 23 minutes after 8, Lieutenant Lowry gave us the report from the Sheriff's Department this morning. We recorded it for broadcast at this time.
In the past 24 hours, the Communications Center has received 330 calls. The jail processed 11 arrests, and they currently have 175 in the jail. For incident reports, we have Ellenborough Quick Mart reported an incident of felony larceny. Caroline Morrow of Rutherford reported an incident of felony larceny. And for arrest, we have Martin Scott Martin Jr. of Ballstick, charged with violation of release order and second-degree trespass. Cora Hudson of Ballstick, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. Mariah McDowell of Forest City, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. And Rebecca Green of Forest City, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor. And that's it.
NCN's Sports, I'm Nate Saunders. A hat trick is among the Hurricanes' highlights in a rout of the Lightning. Correspondent Jane Ferry reports.
The Hurricanes got a hat trick from Teuvo Teravainen in a 6-0 shutout of the Lightning.
It's pretty special to score 3 goals for sure, and I lost my grandfather a little bit ago, so that's going for him.
Teravainen completed his second career 3-goal game with 8:57 remaining. He entered the game with 7 goals all season. Shane Gostisbehere scored for the first time since joining Carolina, providing one of the Hurricanes' 4 power play goals. He also had 2 assists. Frederik Andersen needed to make just 14 saves in his first shutout of the season. Tampa Bay was outshot 38-14 in losing its 5th in a row. I'm Jane Ferry.
William Byron gets an early season victory. Correspondent Jerry Jordan.
William Byron hit the jackpot at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, leading 176 out of 271 laps to take the win and lock himself into NASCAR's playoffs later this year.
Happy with getting the first win of the year. It's been a while since we've won. It's been almost a year, and it's nice to kind of just get back to what I feel like we're capable of.
It was a teammate trifecta as Byron's teammate Kyle Larson finished second.
I thought Kyle was really strong. He could stay close to me for a lot of the runs.
The 24's pit stop was just better than ours there at the end, so bummed, but all in all, we needed a good run today. Second in all 3 stages, and good points today.
Followed by fellow Hendrick Motorsports driver Alex Bowman in third. I'm Jerry Jordan.
Liverpool's top 4 hopes are very much alive, and Manchester United's championship dreams are dead after a historic Sunday beating at Anfield.
Salah, surely not another hat-trick against Manchester. Oh, Firmino! It is another! It's 7 for Liverpool! Sensational! Astonishing! Incredible! The greatest win against Manchester United there's ever been!
The call from Steve Hunter on LFC TV's Match Day Audio. You're listening to NCN Sports.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Join PBS North Carolina as we explore the world around us through stories that illuminate and moments that inspire. From PBS favorites like Masterpiece to local programs that celebrate our state and people. From educational resources for kids to emergency briefings that keep us secure. PBS North Carolina offers endless possibilities for discovery and wonder. Follow your curiosity at pbsnc.org.
The Nets take another step in avoiding the play-in round. AP correspondent Dave Ferry reports.
Mikal Bridges had the hot hand in the first quarter of the Nets' 102-86 win against the Hornets. Bridges went 9 for 9 in a 19-point first period and finished with 33 points. His hot start helped Brooklyn go ahead by as many as 37. Spencer Dinwiddie added 24 points for the Nets, who were coming off the largest comeback win of the NBA season Friday in Boston. Charlotte made it interesting with a 22-2 run in the second half. Kelly Oubre Jr. finished with 17 points, and Mark Williams had 14 rebounds in the Hornets' third straight loss. I'm Dave Ferry.
Yesterday in college basketball, UNC Asheville won the Big South Conference over Campbell 77-73, and today UNCW fights to win their conference at 6. You're listening to NCN Sports.
We've got another day of beautiful weather headed our way with temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 70s with mostly sunny skies. No complaints for us today, so if you can head outside, get some fresh air, it's going to be a good day to do so. Tonight, very comfortable still, mid to upper 50s by Tuesday morning. Tuesday during the day, we're going to have a cold front coming through. That could make it a little bit breezy, but temperatures still will be warm in the upper 70s. Now, I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione in the Weather Center.
It is warming up nicely, up to 45 already. Started out at 39 this morning. We're on our way up to a high near 70 and sunny skies. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Thank you for joining me for the morning wake-up call. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 o'clock. It's 8:30 time now for the Word of Faith Fellowship radio program.
Hello, everyone. This is Mark with Word of Faith Fellowship, and we are picking up on this program as a part 2. We started the program off where we had people who have come to the Word of Faith Fellowship from other nations. And so this is picking back up, and we're having more people from our church who are going to sing, and they're going to share with you about the miracles in their life and how God brought them from the countries they came from to right here in Rutherford County at Word of Faith Fellowship. Now, we have heard from a lot of countries. We're going to hear from more, a total of 18 different countries. And as they sing the song, No Other Name But the Name of Jesus, they are singing it in their language. If you missed the first program and you want to go back to it, you can go to our website, wordoffaithfellowship.org, and these radio programs are videoed, and you can watch it and see the miracles of God. But we are going to pick back up now, and you're going to hear the testimonies. How did these people come to Rutherford County from all over the world to Word of Faith Fellowship? It was the hand of God. And I'm going to start off with a Bible verse that really summarizes these programs that we're doing. And this is in Acts chapter 17, verse 26, and it says this: "And he made from one common origin and source, one blood, all nations of men to settle on the face of the earth, having definitely determined their allotted periods of time and the fixed boundaries of their habitation, their settlements, lands, and abodes, so that they should seek God, in the hope that they might fill after him and find him, although he is not far from each one of us." And we've seen that here at the Word of Faith Fellowship. We've seen that God himself has actually fixed the boundaries of where people live, where we're supposed to inhabit, and God has ordained you and I to be living in this time, and God has a specific place for you and I to live. And you're going to hear the amazing journeys and testimonies from people who, even though they were born in a certain country across the planet, God had set them in the body of Christ and ordained that they would end up right here in this place in the Word of Faith Fellowship to be a part of the will of God for their life. So we're going to begin the program now.
Guten Abend. Mein Name ist Ursula Thompson und das ist Pam Sharp. And we are from Germany, and we are going to tell you a little bit of our story. I was born in a small German village, and I grew up in a Christian family. My home was right next to the Catholic Church. I grew up Catholic, and I could just jump out of bed when the church bell started ringing, throw some water on my face, and go to church. When we were in second grade, we had religion classes, and we had Father Janssen, and he was very lovely, and he told us for the first time that we were loved by Jesus and that Jesus had a call on our life. And at that time, that went very deep into my heart. I knew that in order to love God, I had to be a good girl, but it had to be for love and not for consequences. Later on, when I finished my studies, I studied languages. I met my husband, and he was from Rutherford in the United States, and I came here. I never planned on being a teacher, but I was introduced to Dr. Poston from Gardner-Webb University, and he asked me to become the assistant of Dr. Charles Andrews and teach French. So I was there for 3 years. And we got a call that they needed a French teacher at Polk Central in Polk County. And the teacher had passed away a week before school started. So I taught there for 3 years, and then the position at RS Central became open. And I came to Rutherford. I taught there for 30 years. I met Katharina Wien while I was teaching at RS Central, and she invited me to the church Word of Faith. And I was so impressed to see the children. The children were lovely. They were disciplined, and they were structured in school. And this is the second time that I heard children being taught, you are loved by Jesus, and he has a call on your life. So that has been my creed, and I think that I have been exactly where God wanted me to be.
Hello, my name is Pamela Sharp. I was born in Würzburg, Germany. My father was in the Army, and my mother was full-blooded German. And I grew up not knowing anything about Jesus. My family didn't serve Jesus at all. So there was a lot of cathedrals in Germany that, we would see all the time. I was always curious about those, but I never really understood what they were. God had used an incident with my brother while we were younger to impart some reading skills in me because I had trouble with my reading. And he pulled a Bible off the shelf, and I started reading it. And little did he know that what I was reading was going into my heart, and I had such a desire to know more about what I was reading. So when my father retired, we came over to the United States when I was 10, and I had such a desire to know more about what I read that I couldn't stop thinking about God. So when we were in school, we would find churches that would come pick us up, buses that would take us to the churches. And from there, the desire grew and grew. And when I got into my teenage years, I did stray a little bit, and I ended up getting much deliverance. And it was only through the power and the glory of God that I'm here to tell you that I'm so grateful for what he's delivered me from and what he's brought me out of. And it was not by accident that I'm German, and we are going to sing a song to you. There is no other name but the name of Jesus, because he's real to us.
Kein anderer Name, nur der Name von Jesus. Kein anderer Name, nur der Name von der Herrn. Kein anderer Name, nur der Name von Jesus ist würdig der Herrlichkeit und würdig der Ehre und würdig der Kraft und Anbetung.
Hello, my name is Peter Satulov. I am from the former Soviet Union, the country of Lithuania, the country that Russians took over and had control over. It was led and controlled and ruled by communists. The Soviet Union was one huge, dark, oppressive, poor country. And I lived in there not for 2-3 months or 2-3 years, not even 10 years. I lived in it for 27 years. Evangelical Christians were heavily persecuted. Those that existed in that country, they were very persecuted. My mother and father did not know Jesus, but miraculously, through a neighbor, my mother came to know Jesus. A couple of years later, my dad came to know Jesus through my mom. They were going to underground church. Later on, I was born. So growing up, I was going into underground church. Then that went on for about 15 years. Then the communists allowed to build a church building. I was going to church every time the door was open. I was playing in the orchestra. I was singing in 2 choirs. I was doing everything religiously right. But the world pulled on my heart. I lived a double lifestyle. I was going to church, but the rest of the time I lived in the world. I gave to lots of sin in my life. God somehow put a strong desire in my heart, in spite of my sin, to go to a Bible school. There was no Bible schools in the Soviet Union. Pastor Sam Whaley from the Word of Faith Fellowship from Spindale came and visited Lithuania. And that's how the light came to my life. He told me that they had Bible school. Through the series of events, God brought me out from behind the curtain of communism and brought me to the United States. About a year later, or less, I came to Spindale, North Carolina. People prayed for me. People spent time counseling me. I cried out to Jesus with all my heart, as strong as I could. And miracles have happened. God has delivered me. He has blessed me with a wonderful wife, wonderful son, wonderful church family and friends, a business, a beautiful home. There's nothing that I have done that I deserve it, but it's because of the love of God shed abroad. And if you have those walls and something that in your life that seems like a mountainous, there's nothing is too difficult for our God to reach down and help you and deliver you from those walls and bring them down just like He did in my life. I will sing in Russian language because Lithuanian language was not my native language. My parents moved to Lithuania from Belarus at that time. Нет другого имени, но имя Иисуса. Нет другого имени, но имя Господа. Нет другого имени, но имя Иисуса. Достойно славы, достойно силы, достойно чести и хвалы.
My name is Mimi, and a few of our people from church that are from Sweden are going to be singing to you today, and we're going to be singing in Swedish. We got Solveig and Torbjörn and their 3 daughters, Emily, Matilda, and Philippa, and as well as Heidi and Annalena. We will be singing "Your Name is Exalted Above All Names" in Swedish in a few minutes. All of us have a very strong desire to serve Jesus, and God has made a way for us to come to America and to serve Jesus in Rutherford County with the Word of Faith, and we are so excited. We all had different ways of coming here to America, but I'm going to share some of the things, what God has done for me. So, as I mentioned, we are from Sweden. Sweden is a very godless nation. Most people are atheists. You would think that it might be a Christian nation, a so-called Christian nation, because when you're born in Sweden, you automatically join the state church. And so it looks like there's a lot of Christian people, but they're actually atheists. Most people are. I was very blessed to grow up in a family that believed in God. So when I was a little girl, I remember when I first heard the story about Zacchaeus, I remember thinking, oh, I really want to find Jesus. So I remember we used to climb up in a little lilac tree, and we would be waiting because we were hoping Jesus would come back. Never did I know that I was come to America to find Jesus for myself. So as I grew up, I know a lot of hopelessness came along in my life because I didn't know, no one around me really wanted to serve Jesus. So I remember when I first went to public school, I remember God's name was never mentioned. You were ridiculed if you ever said that you even believed in God. You were attacked for that. And I remember, God saw my heart and saw that I wanted to serve Him. So He brought me to a school in far from where we lived. God moved us, and we moved there, and I got to go to Christian school because I will say this, that even you are not even allowed to homeschool your children because that's illegal. So there's no way that you have a chance to want to serve Jesus and that it's supported in Sweden, basically. But God brought us there, and that was a way where we met Sam and Jane, and they came to our church there, and that's the way where when my mom heard them preach about how Jesus wanted to set us free and how He wanted to help us and support us. She got it in her heart that we were going to go to America, and God made a way. So we came, which was a miracle. She had 3 children, and we came to America. We stayed there, and God put a lot of His word in my heart, and it changed me so much. So when I had to go back, I remember going to this godless, awful university, but I had the strong love for Jesus. So God saved me through that whole situation. And then eventually in 2001, God let me come back to America, and I was transferred, and I went to college here. And God has done so much for me. He has given me a husband and a son, and I have a wonderful life. I'm so grateful to be here. And we can say that for all of us, and that's what we're going to sing. There's no other name but the name of Jesus, the name that we could not mention without being attacked in Sweden. We want to sing that with all of our hearts.
Högre är vår jord,
My name is Werner Traxel, and beside me is Deborah, and we both grew up in Switzerland. And I would say Switzerland is a country like Georgia, the size, and has 4 languages. It's a beautiful country, but God had a plan for our lives, a different plan. And I grew up in a church in Switzerland as a young boy, went to Sunday school, always in the church. And one day, when I was 16, 17 years old, I felt I really want to go and serve God. I signed up in a evangelistic outreach for 2 weeks. And from there, I was confronted with a lot of different situations and also different religious groups in that big city. And I asked Jesus in my heart if I'm really serving the true God, the true Jesus. And in the morning we met always, and we went to prayer for the upcoming day. And when I sat down and we started to pray, the Spirit of God came strong over me in a fire, like very, very strong. And from then on, really I felt and I knew that's the true Jesus I'm serving. And that gave me the strength and the power to go through my life in so many situations. Then I met my wife in Switzerland, and we got married, and we felt we need to have a direction for our lives. So we ended up here coming to the United States, to Spindale, North Carolina. And God blessed us so majorly, actually. He gave us a son, he gave us a house, because when we came here, we had a suitcase, we had 1 cat, and that's all. But now we're living really in the blessings of God. And that's the reason we really can say we serve the true God.
And now we're going to sing No Other Name in Swiss German.
Kein anderer Name, nur der Name von Jesus. Kein anderer Name, nur der Name vom Herrn. Kein anderer Name, nur der Name von Jesus. Ich würdig zur Herrlichkeit und würdig zur Ehre und würdig zur Kraft und Appetит.
Hi, my name is Klaus Petersen. I'm born and raised in Denmark. And in Denmark, the church in Denmark is a Lutheran church. You get baptized as a baby, you get a confirmation, and that didn't mean anything to me because in my home, we didn't have no religious activity at all. I didn't know what a Baptist church was. I didn't have no idea about church, so to speak. So growing up, it was mostly ungodly and not having any relationship with religion at all. So in my 20s, when I started to feel the drawing power of God, I could feel the question, what is the meaning of life? And nobody could answer it, my mom and anybody in my family, because nobody on my mom's side or my dad's side was going to church as far as I know. So I got to listen to this radio program where they preach Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that made a difference in my life because he is the same today and forever like he was yesterday. He does the same things, and that started the journey in my life when I started going to church, and I started going to Bible school here and there in Denmark and in Sweden, and I actually ran into the pastor that was doing my confirmation later on in life, and I asked him the question about Adam and Eve, and he had a totally different viewpoint on Adam and Eve. He didn't believe in them at all, and I do for sure believe in Adam and Eve because they were real, and that shows you right there his mind was going way out there in religion, and that was the church in Denmark. So God was drawing me, and I went from church to church, and sometimes you have to leave and go on to the next church because God has a different plan for your life.
and I ended up going to Bible school in Sweden, met one person out of 2,000 students that knew about Jesus and knew about Spindale, North Carolina. I didn't know anything about Spindale, North Carolina, but God had a different direction for my life because I was already signed up to go on a mission school, but God directed my life to North Carolina, Spindale, and I've been here for over 20 years. So if you have the same question in your life, what is the meaning of life? Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and he has a plan for you to live and not die.
And my name is Kim, and like Klaus, I grew up in Denmark without knowing God. We didn't have a Bible in our home. We never talked about God or Jesus in our home, and it was a bad situation. But one day, God, he called me, and I went to buy a Bible, and I read most of the Bible before I even started going to church. And then I started going to church, and I could not really find the true gospel in the church I went to. I went to several churches in Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, and it was the same thing, searching for God. But one day God led me to North Carolina, to the Word of Faith Fellowship, and that's where I met Jesus, and he changed my life, and I'm forever grateful for that. And now we'll sing a song in Danish, No Other Name.
Intet andet navn end navnet Jesus. Intet andet navn end Herrens navn. Intet andet navn end navnet Jesus er værd at lyde, er værd at lovsang, er værd at kraft og al pris.
My name is Harri Kumpulainen. I was born in Finland, and I live in Finland my childhood. When I was 19, I moved to Sweden after military service, and my life was going apart. But after when I seeking God, I met Sam and Jane Whaley, lived water life, and they told me at I think Bible school over here. I moved here 1989, and since I am here, I was married by my wife here, and since I live here, my life here. Now I'm going to sing Finnish. The Finnish is a very difficult language, the only language in the whole world who speak that Finnish. I'm speaking to Finnish, trying to Finnish my Finnish now. Ei ole toista nimeä kuin Jeesus. Ei ole toista nimeä kuin Herran. Ei ole toista nimeä kuin Jeesus. Hän on arvokas kunnian, hän on arvokas kirkkauden, hän on arvokas voiman ja ylistyksen.
Hi, my name's Robin, and this is Ann, and we're from Vietnam. And I was born in 1973 during the war, and I was adopted by an American couple, and they adopted me from an orphanage, and I don't know how I got there, but God knows how I got there, and he's always had his hand on my life. And I am just so grateful because I know that he delivered me. He saved my life. I came to the United States when I was 3 months old, and I know that he spared me from horrible situations, from a terrible war. And my parents adopted me because they couldn't have children of their own. But during the adoption process, my mom found out that she was having a son, and I got a brother, and we were only 8 months apart. And to me, that's a miracle. And, you know, God was showing me that he knows and has a hold of the seasons, the timing. He had a hold of every detail of my life, and he cared for me, and he cares for every single one of us. And I came over on a plane, and one of the orphanage workers took care of me on the flight. I grew up in Colorado. I became a U.S. citizen when I was 4 years old. And I just remember, as a child, I always had a love for God. I was drawn to things of God, had a desire to know God. And then when I became a teenager, we moved to Connecticut. I was starting to get older. And I remember crying out, God, I know there's more to you than just what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing. And God led me to a church that was affiliated with this church. And when I came here, it was on Word of Faith. I knew it was everything I was ever searching for, seeking. I felt so much love, the presence of God. And I've been here ever since serving God. And I know that I owe God my life and that I have a debt to serve him for the rest of my life. And I am just so grateful.
Yes, my name's Tuit Ann Doty. I was born in around Saigon, Vietnam in the South. My mom was Vietnamese. My dad's American. He was there in South Vietnam working. So they met, they married, they had my brother and I, and we actually lived in my grandfather's house in South Vietnam. And as the war started obviously wrapping up, it got very intense, and the Americans started bringing all their citizens out. My family was able to get out on one of the last planes that left the airport before the country was taken over. The Viet Cong were actually at the airport, hadn't taken over yet, and we got out. It was not but a matter of weeks, and the city fell. Saigon fell. My mom's entire side of the family was there, but God delivered us. And I will never be able to repay God. I mean, that alone in my life. I mean, from there, God took our family, my dad's job, sent us to Tripoli, Libya. We lived there for a short time, and as they were preparing to send him to Uganda, my parents decided that it was time for us to come to the United States. His company did not have an assignment for him in the United States, and so even though that was the case, my parents, God made a way for us to still come to the United States. So we moved to Oklahoma, where my dad's family was from, and in that place, God gave me a loving family, a Christian home. I was blessed, and I know God did that for me because he knew the plan he had for my life. And if we had been in Vietnam, there was no way I could have had the blessings and the foundation in my life where God made a way that I could come to know him, that I could learn to love him, and I will never be able to repay what God did for me. I am so grateful. His hand of mercy and protection and love has been on my life and my family's life from the very beginning. So we are going to sing for you now in Vietnamese.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed this program and hearing the miracles of how God brought people to our church, Word of Faith Fellowship, from all over the world. And if you would like to hear more of our programs, we are on this radio program Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:30 to 9. We also have all of our radio programs videoed, so you can watch them. You can see the people sharing, and that is wordoffaithfellowship.org. I hope that you will continue to listen to our program, go to our website, and hear the miracles of God that we share at the Word of Faith Fellowship. Thank you.